right? We not having that. We want to build a community, forever. Kids win, we win. Period.
That's one of your coaches, right?
Yeah, and he work at the school. Real good dude. All right, we back. Classes in session. Welcome back to another episode of AM University. I'm your host, Antoine Miller. This is episode 3, and I got my longtime friend here, Cantrell Hawkins. Real pleasure to have this man on this stage with me. Again, like I said last episode, I don't really like to talk to low IQ people. To be honest, anybody that I invite on here, they got a really high IQ level in life and in basketball. So that's why he's here. So introduce yourself real quick, brother.
Good day, people. For those who don't know, I'm Cantrell Hawkins. I'm here.
There we go. Now, the reason I got him on this episode is obviously people that know me know I coach high school basketball, AAU basketball, and every kid in the world thinks that they're a Division I athlete. Every kid in the world. You can be the last man on the bench. You can average 5 points a game. It doesn't matter. Your parents, you all have inspirations of playing Division I, not even just college basketball, Division I college basketball. So I said, let me bring my close friend on board to talk about it that earned a Division I scholarship to Howard University after graduating Camden High School, and just talk about some of the things that a lot of you think is sweet with the game when you get to that level. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. So the first thing I want to ask you is, I want to transition from high school first because, and I'm in the same boat. Me and you played at the same high school. We played for the same coach. I'll tell you my side, you tell me yours. Tell me during basketball season, what was your routine in high school? Like, give me the whole day. I mean, school, basketball, a day at Camden High during basketball season.
What would I say? We got to school around 8:30. Your 4 classes in the morning, your lunch, you had your evening classes. Back then, Coach Turner ran high school, the varsity team. We didn't practice until about 6 o'clock at night. He had the vision to keep us at the school from 3 p.m. at the dismissal until 6 when practice started. They would run little workshops. You could do your homework. You could work on different things. It was, people didn't always take advantage of it. Of course, grandma made me take advantage of it. So I had to go get the homework and all of that done at the school. We literally did.
You had a study hall?
In the A building, in the annex. You had a study hall for all the basketball team. You could go there, get your work done. I mean, of course, we was young. We spent most of the time chasing the track girls because they had practice right after school.
There we go.
We were chasing the female basketball team. They had practice right after school. And there was always a lot of extra activities going on. Cheerleaders practice right after school. So, the mature side of you knew you were supposed to be in study hall, getting your homework done. The kid in you had you maybe at Ernie's or had you at Donkey's.
Was it mandatory?
It was not mandatory. It was not mandatory.
Okay.
Definitely wasn't.
Okay.
That was basically it. I'll go ahead and put it out there. There wasn't too much structure in high school as compared to how the structure was once I got on Howard's campus.
Don't talk about Howard yet.
Okay.
Stay at high school. And I'm talking about this is how it was before practice and before the games, right? So how was it in preparation for the games at the high school level? What did you guys do, if anything, to prepare for the next opponent?
One thing that stuck out in my mind was, and I know a lot of people can attest to this, we never watched any video footage.
There we go.
Of the team that we were playing that week.
There we go.
When you're in high school, you tend to play the same teams year in and year out, so you kind of get, a gist of what they're going to do. But we never physically sat down and did game time footage to actually see it. I know that probably would have helped a lot of people, but Coach Turner wasn't on it like that. He had already played these teams. He had dominated these teams. When we were in Group 4 when I was in high school, we were always bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic than all of the teams in the conferences that were around us.
Yes.
We never ran
That's
into
what I wanted you to
problems.
say.
We never ran into problems until we made it, maybe mid-Jersey, North Jersey championship or a title game of some sort. Up until those games, it wasn't uncommon to go 23-0, 22-0, because you're playing bums around the way. You know what I mean?
And the rest of your time, you was at Arnie's, at the corner store.
Or you going to the corner store, chase and tell.
Chase and tell.
Chase and tell.
Chase and tell. Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, I didn't even have that in high school. You said y'all had a study hall. Maybe Turner was a little too old when he coached us.
He might have been in his 70s by the time you got to him, maybe older than that.
Want to know what my high school consisted of when Turner was there?
Shoot it.
Well, I went to another school than you. I just played for Cantrell High. But once we got there, wait, how did y'all practices go?
We always started with layup line, 4 corners. We might do some lane dogs. We might do the 3-man in and out weave, just to get loose, just to get running. Very seldom did he make us run laps or anything of that nature. We really only ran 2 defenses, purple and yellow. I can still run purple and yellow till this day because that was all we did as far as defense was concerned. It wasn't that intricate. It wasn't a lot of detail to it. He mainly relied on our athleticism and, just us being bigger and stronger than everybody around.
Okay, so similar story. We did layup line. That was our stretching.
Okay.
And we played for an hour and 45 minutes.
Just 5-on-5.
We scrimmaged for an hour and 45 minutes.
We did that a lot. We did that just to run.
I've never seen anything about it, like you said, another opponent. We played against Derek Character, who was a McDonald's All-American. We didn't know anything about him. Nothing.
Y'all didn't game plan for him.
Nope.
They didn't say this is.
We heard about him on our own.
I know. I remember a few times the practice squad would always try to emulate whoever it was we were playing. Like he would pick one person off the practice squad and say, "Okay, you're going to be this guy."
Possibly.
And
that possibly happened with us. But
that guy had the green light in practice. He could cook us if he could. You know what I mean?
For the most part, it was like you said. We were so superior, and we beat that team, Derek Character's team. We were so superior than the opposing whoever that we just got past with that. My thing with that is that a good thing for a 16-year-old kid to be able to see that?
It's not, and you grow into it. I don't know if I'm gonna move too far ahead with this statement, but one of the biggest things that was a shock to me was the amount of detail and amount of preparation that goes into a week-to-week game on a D1 level. You literally are studying. You literally have about maybe 5 to 10 plays that are specifically designed for that team and that upcoming game. And whoever the opponent is, whoever their main player is, you usually have 1 or 2 defenses that we're going to throw at that guy, to give him problems. Coming from Cantrell High, I had never done that. I got a playbook when I got to college, D1. And coach did not give you minutes game time unless you proved to him during the week that you knew whatever plays it was we were running. And not only did you have to know your position, but you needed to know the position ahead of yours too. So if you were a 2 guard, you had to know what the point was supposed to be doing as well. I played the 4, but I needed to know what the 3 had to be doing as well. Because at any time you may be subbed in for one of those dudes. And that right there, like I'm a pretty smart dude, but that blew my mind. That blew my mind.
Knowing everybody else's position.
Knowing another position. Not only knowing where you're supposed to be, but knowing where somebody else is supposed to be.
So you kind of already transitioning into what I wanted to go next. So your high school was like this, right? You was a really good player in high school. You get your Division I scholarship. That summer, what are you thinking going into your first year at Howard University?
I won't say I was a really good player. I would say I had a really good work ethic on my own.
Okay.
I practiced a lot on my own.
And you were 6'6".
And I was 6'5", 6'6". That didn't hurt.
That don't hurt.
Not to mention I played with DeJuan Wagner Sr. You know, he could have went to the NBA right out of the 11th grade or 10th grade.
Yeah, he was a freshman. Yeah.
So with him getting so much attention and double teaming, triple teaming him, it gave me a little platform to shine.
Right.
And I tried to take advantage of it as best I could for the athleticism that I had.
Absolutely.
I would be lying if I didn't tell you that at that time in my life, I didn't think I was going to go pro. I was going to bust my ass. It was going to be what it was going to be, and I was going to try to make it. Even if I made the practice squad on some NBA roster, that was cool. You know what I mean? So going to Howard, I had high hopes. Worked hard. Finally transitioned into weightlifting. There was no weightlifting at the high school level. Nobody made us do bench presses. Nobody made us.
Did they even put it out there for you to do?
I mean, the gym was open.
I didn't ask you that.
The basement was there. The weights were there.
I didn't ask you that.
The football team was down there
I
lifting.
didn't ask you that. I asked you, did the coaches even put it out there to do it?
Coach Turner wasn't big on weightlifting. He always, the way I perceived it, he looked at it like weightlifting stunted your growth. Weightlifting, I don't know, maybe it shrunk your muscles. It didn't allow you to stretch and extend the way you would have. He always wanted you to be fast, limber, and be able to run, especially for my position. I'm running baseline to baseline. Put your head under the basket. That way you know you're back. You know, when you lift weights, you kind of bulk up. You get a little bigger. You get a little heavier. You gotta also learn how to play basketball while lifting weights. If you know, you lift weights and you go out here and shoot a Jimmy, man,
17
air
balls
your
before
muscles
you
adjust
touch
to feeling how they're supposed to feel again. Absolutely.
Right. If you never
Lifting weights will, excuse my language, lifting weights will fuck your shot up. But it's needed. It's needed.
It's needed.
It's needed because you have to be strong enough to take this punishment.
Yes. And that's the thing about high school. It's like, go ahead.
I'm in high school, I'm 6'5", I'm playing the center sometimes. I'm playing the 4 a lot. When I get to the next level, D1 level, the 4 is 6'9", 6'10", 6'8". The center might be 7. You might have a big clumsy 7-footer out there, but 7 foot is 7 foot. You hear me? And that's a difference. So it was a big jump, a big transition for me. Absolutely. But I will say, my freshman year, D1, that was the strongest I've ever been in my life. Physically. The physical the strength that I had.
Answer this: when you the first week they had you working out, did you think it was? I might not be able to do this, man.
Oh, it was hell. I wasn't used to it. I was sore as hell. I might have walked around campus for the first couple of days when my arms couldn't
extend
stretch them out. I done did so many curls, and now they talking about it's time to play ball. I could barely walk. I'm sore as hell.
All right, so take me through. You took me through a traditional day in high school in the basketball season. Take me through a traditional day in college during the basketball season.
Now this was a shocker to me. Your day started at around 4:30 a.m. at the D1 level. You may have an individual practice, just you and your big man coach, or just you and a guard coach, 4:30 a.m. Y'all running through drills. He's making sure you understand the plays and where you need to be. That might go from 4:30 till about 5:30 a.m., maybe 5:45. They give you enough time to make it back to your dorm room, shower up, and then you need to be at your class around the same time, around 8:30-ish, 8:45-ish. But from that early morning 4:30 practice, transitioning into class around 8:30, by around 10 o'clock, 10:30, you're having another practice. Now it might be you and the other forwards or you and the other guards. They got a whole regimen. It might be some drills going on, a lot of plyometrics going on, a lot of stair running going on.
This is in season.
This is during the season.
This
Now
is in season.
You're already on your second practice of the day, and it ain't even 11 a.m. Now you're eating an early lunch. You might eat lunch around 11:30. You out of there about 12:30. You got to go back to class. You're in class maybe till about 3 o'clock. Around 4:30, 5 o'clock, now the entire team is meeting for you to have the longest practice of the day. When the entire team meets, that practice is going to last about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. You getting out of there around 8:30, but you are exhausted. And you still got homework to do.
You still got homework to do.
You still got studying to do. And there's a project due. And it ain't no time to rest.
How about that?
It ain't no time to rest. And for me, coming from itty bitty Camden, going to Chocolate City.
Chocolate City.
It was more girls than I ever seen
you was in
my
Chocolate
life.
City. I didn't even think. I forgot about that.
I
You was
lost
in
my
Chocolate City.
mind. Lost my mind. You hear me? But when basketball, now you also have a brief intermission because you start school maybe at the end of August. Basketball doesn't start until late October, mid-October. So you're going to get a good 6 weeks of freedom and what it is to just be a normal student. Partying, class, chill. That's really the regimen. Once basketball kicked in, all of your party time, all of your chilling time, all of your BS time.
You don't have any. It's impossible to
Well,
have
you somewhere
that
trying
time,
to catch up
right?
on some sleep. That's what you're really trying to do. You're really trying to catch up on some sleep. You are tired.
Yeah, man.
That's what stuck out in my mind the most.
Yeah. See, I played Division III, so it was like we had all, but they couldn't make it mandatory.
Yeah, it was. They didn't force you to do
They
anything.
couldn't force us
If
to
you're
do
somewhere
anything.
on a scholarship,
Yeah.
you're going to do it,
Or you outta
you will
here.
not be here.
You out of here. Yeah. We had the packets, we had the study hall, we had the weight room, but they couldn't force
You to
it.
do it.
But he damn sure made the first day of practice. He damn sure had a checklist of everything.
Who
he
did
was
what?
supposed
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
he's going to keep track. That's a good coach. You can't be mad at him for that.
Yo, me and Wayne,
many
Wayne
checks did
Smalls,
y'all
my boy
get?
Wayne Smalls. Me and Wayne looked at each other when he gave us the packet in like March the year before. And we looked at each other like, bro,
We ain't doing all of this. Exactly.
first day of practice, we got the same look at each other like, we really.
Did you do that? I ain't do
Like
that.
a whole physical test, bro.
I'm not being able to do that. No way. You gotta work though, and it's a big change.
Kids really, but in all honesty, kids really don't understand what you're saying, man. And they all think because of how the high school level is, you don't know how the high school level is. We can't. We can't. We don't have the time.
That first
to do
year,
that type of
I can
stuff.
remember questioning myself as to if I really loved basketball as much as I proclaimed that I did. Because the work had to be put in, and the work was on triple time. You know what I mean? So it started becoming a thing like, damn, I love the game and I love to play, but goddamn, I'm tired. Shit, I'm tired. I don't feel like waking up tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. You know what I mean? I don't feel like. It would be times where I would go to my 4:30 a.m. practice, skip my morning classes, get rest for 2 or 3 hours, and then make it back to the next practice at around 11:30 or 11:45.
Questioning, do you really want this?
Do you really, really want this? Because it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. They're not going to make it easy. And you're your own supervisor. Nobody's checking up on you.
Right.
The shit will hit the fan when the shit hits the fan. You feel me? Nobody's coming every minute, every hour saying, did you get this done? Did you do this?
Right.
Make sure you do it. Nobody's there to do that. You are your own boss.
Right.
So if you want to bullshit, you bullshit. It's good. It's on you. It'll catch up to you at the end of the semester. Nobody's making you do anything.
That's so valuable, bro.
And you're very young, so you don't really got the maturity to know I need to be here. I gotta push through. I gotta push through. Push through.
Yeah.
You take those chill breaks and they last.
Let's talk about in game. I want you to tell me because full transparency, I scheduled a game for my high school a couple years ago, right?
Against
with
who?
Linden. And this guy Tavon Jones, he was probably top 5 in the state. This was a couple years back. But it was a toxic situation with my team. I'm gonna just say that. And they thought they was
Better than what they were.
extremely, right? So I was like, let me just be an asshole.
And give them a game
schedule
that
this
you knew
game
was
on
above their
purpose.
caliber.
He had to have 48.
He ate 'em.
It was the score was like 97 to 25, and that's only because they allowed us to get the 25 points at the end of the
Frying
game.
pan cooked their ass.
It was really bad, right?
That's what it is.
And to be honest, I really think they they grew mentally as a person from that. I really think it worked. I really think it worked. I think they looked at it a total different way.
Tough love is the best love sometimes.
And this dude was a real monster. He was a cold-blooded North Jersey killer, bro. And I really think they looked at basketball a different way. So I'm asking that to ask you is, when you played at Howard, who really that you played against made you know I'm really playing Division I basketball right now and this is real?
2 players.
There we
got
go.
2 names for you in particular. Tim Thomas from Villanova. He ended up going to the league.
Yes, he did.
He had a long career. He might have played like 10 years.
Top 10 pick, boy.
6'9", 250, 260. Do it all. You hear me? I remember him vividly. And Vonteego Cummins. Not a household name, but you're going to put some respect on Vonteego's
People that know basketball
name.
know Vonteego Cummins.
Vonteego Cummins went to the league. He played for the Sixers for a little bit.
Damn right. And Golden State.
I remember him being one of the most explosive players that I had ever seen at that level. I'll tell you a quick story. So we at Howard. It's a Christmas tournament. We're going to Pittsburgh to go play the University of Pitt. We're on the bus going up the turnpike. The whole ride up, Coach he got the dry chalkboard. He's in the middle of the bus aisles, and everything is Vonteego. Vonteego, we're going to run a boxing 1 on Vonteego. I need you to pay attention to Vonteego. Please know where Vonteego is. If Vonteego goes to the bathroom, I want somebody to go with him. The whole ride up. We get up there. First of all, I had never played in front of a crowd of that magnitude. I had played big games at the High. We might have been in front of maybe 10,000 people at the highest game that we had. But there, a regular game, 17,000 people, 20,000 people. This is Pittsburgh. They ain't got nothing else to do on a Saturday morning. Everybody's going to the game.
It's Pittsburgh.
Man, you run out the tunnel, bum, 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 and it's deafening. You can't hear anything. You just seeing people with shirts off. You got the crowd. It's just a lot to take in. There's so much going in that you might not even see everything. You feel me? So that was one aspect of it, but that kind of hypes you up.
Hold on.
That soups you up.
You ain't even played the game yet.
You ain't played the game.
But
yet.
go ahead.
We in the layup line. It's mad people there. So, of course, on my mind, I got Vonteego Cummins, because that's all I've been hearing for this whole 2-hour bus ride that we've been taking. We run our boxing 1 on Vonteego. First half, we end up leading going into the half. I think we might have had them by about 6 points. We was up by 6. But Vonteego might have only had about 5 or 6 points at the end of the first half. Me, being cocky, being arrogant, thinking I was better than what I was, said to myself, walking into the tunnel at halftime, I even said this to Vonteego. I said, bro, you ass. If you going to the league, I'm going to the league. Because we shutting you, you feel me?
That's the Camden in you, too.
You ass, if you're going, I'm going. Because everybody's hyped up about you, and I ain't seen much of nothing. Never paid attention to the fact that he had never put the ball in his right hand during the first half. Everything he did was going left. Every layup was going left. Every jump shot was going to the left. Every move he did was going to the left. Never paid it no mind. It was working, but guess what he was doing? He was working on his left hand during the first half of the game. He knew that we were that ass that he could work on his left hand for a whole half of basketball. Came out in the second half, he put the ball in his right hand. This joker gave us like 42. Like night and day. And I don't know if me saying to him what I said to him inspired him, but I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it because he rotisserie cooked our ass in the second half.
Okay, so what happened? Now you on the bus going.
We lost big.
You on the bus going home though.
Everybody got the poop face.
No, not everybody. I'm talking about you. How do you feel? You just saw the legit, real basketball player.
I knew right then
at the highest level of college basketball.
Those guys that do it at that level can turn it off and on. It's literally like a switch. They know that they're that much better than all the other competition that if they hit the switch, you don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance. Now, I had only seen that one other time prior to that, but of course he was on my team. That was WAG.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And he was 4 years younger than me,
Right.
so I saw it, but in revere, but I still didn't respect it like I did when it was somebody that was a year or two older than me.
Right. Right.
When Vontigo hit the switch, nigga,
Right.
he hit the switch,
Right.
and there was nothing you could do. God couldn't have stopped him out there that day. That's how I felt.
So overall, you don't watch high school basketball at all, right?
I try.
Whatever high school basketball you do see, what do you think about it as far as this generation compared to yours?
I don't think it's as entertaining to me because it's not as gritty as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just for generations overall. As time passes, human beings tend to get softer and softer and softer. It would be like somebody born in the year 2000 can't take the ass whooping that somebody that was born in 1980 could take. But somebody born in 1980 couldn't take the ass whooping that somebody in 1960 could take. You know what I mean? It was a reason why the slaves were able to endure what they endured. The time and the date and the strength of what they had to deal with, and they rose to the occasion. But as time passes on, each generation gets a little softer, a little bit more handed to them, a little bit more enabling going on, a little bit more of coddling as opposed to shut your mouth and get it done. You feel me? And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I think that by itself steers me away from youth basketball. I've lost teeth. I've had stitches in my chin. Chances of that happening now, slim to none. It might happen, but this was a regular thing. When we was in high school, you will get your eye black. It's high elbows. Watch yourself. You feel me? It ain't like that no more. It ain't like that no more. Everybody's a stretch something. Stretch 5, stretch 4. Everybody's shooting yacht balls. When I was playing, ass to the basket, garbage, get your rebounds, get your putbacks. You should average at least 8 points a game from the free throw line.
Easy.
Just getting fouled alone.
Easy.
That's 2 free throws a quarter. Easy buckets.
So what would you, being on the outside looking in, because that's great that you don't follow high school basketball as much because you got a different perspective. So on the outside looking in, what would be your advice to these younger kids inspiring to play Division I basketball?
You're going to have to work much harder. You need to start right now. You should have started yesterday. One of the things that I wasn't aware of, and I know it's going to sound silly, but if you're a youth and you're watching a game, like tonight, the Lakers are going to play Denver round 1, watch the game. Pay attention to what's going on in the game. But during commercial breaks, you should be doing push-ups. You should get as many push-ups in every commercial during it. Watch a whole NBA game, and every time they break for commercial, you need to be on the floor getting push-ups in. You need to get yourself stronger.
Working.
You need to work. So now you're getting it physically, you're getting it through eyesight, mentally, but you're also putting some work in at the same time. The work doesn't always come with the ball in your hand. You know what I mean? The work is going to come. A lot of the work is going to come when there ain't no basketball around. That's the biggest thing.
Well, we're going to stop right there. Yeah, we're going to stop right there, brother. Whew. Some cold stuff, boy. Yeah, that's some cold stuff. I got some kids that's going to...
They gonna be like, that nigga's a bum. Fuck him.